All right, call the meeting to order, and we don't have minutes. They're on the printer, so
Yeah.
that's not a problem. We'll do those next time. So the treasury report.
Okay, you have in front of you the outstanding invoices for approval, and NISA has submitted the July through September operation fees of $6,000 and October through December for $6,000. I told her to do that because I thought it was silly for me to write a check this month and then write a check next month. If you feel that's not the thing to do, just say.
No, as long as cash flow is okay, then we're okay.
All right, and then Courtney Cook, $2,955, and you can see the breakdown there. Spectrum Print and Marketing, this is $48 for Main Street, Rockville. Hi, Tammy. And this is for the kiosk county map for the parking lot sign. Now, do I make that out to Main Street or to Spectrum? Because the invoice is from Spectrum.
I'd say Spectrum then, if
Okay.
that's why your invoice says.
All right. I took the check for the sign to Gene and Variety. Travel
Thank you.
Indiana LLC, $1,800 for the Indiana Foodway Alliance Trail sponsorships. And I paid $2,247.23 to Visa for the Facebook ads. That is paid, so it wouldn't be past due. $16,585.12 to Lucas Collum for the repairs to Thorpe Ford Covered Bridge. $925 to Parke County Sentinel for the ad insertion order for Parke County Christmas. Doug Weichheit, $92.28 for mileage reimbursement for brochure delivery. And at 4 o'clock, I received an email from the Indiana Foodway Alliance for 15 memberships for $2,950. And that would bring the total, if you are keeping track, to $39,602.63. Did anybody have anything else?
I guess I should ask, is someone taking notes?
I can take them.
Okay, thanks.
Thanks, Tim.
That's why you're the vice president.
The $29.50, that was Foodway Alliance.
Yeah, Indiana Foodway Alliance for 15
For
memberships.
2025.
Somebody have any other invoices to present? Or is there a motion to approve as
I'll
presented?
make a motion.
Second.
All right, John and Tammy moved and seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
No one opposed? I'll tell you real quick while we're doing this, we got the bill there from Luke Collum for the $16,000 for the bridge. I got a call, must have been Saturday, I think. A nice lady from Roseville, older lady, and she called. She said, "I just have a question. Why don't we take care of our bridges?" And I said, "Man, we always take care of our bridges. What bridges are you talking about?" And she said, "Well, the one down here at Rosedale." I said, "Are you talking covered bridge?" He said, "Yes." I said, "You mean the one between Rosedale and Catlin, the Thorpe Ford Bridge?" "Yes." She said. I said, "Well, they're putting siding on it right now." And dead silence on the phone. And she said, "You mean the one outside of town?" "Yeah, they're putting siding and a new roof on it right now as we speak." She said, "Oh, I guess I need to get up more."
That's great.
I said, yeah, we're covered. Thank you very much.
That's great. Good deal. I have the invoice for that here if anybody is interested. Okay. Also, the Fountain Trust postage fund balance is $744.83. Have you girls been sending out any brochures this month?
A few.
Oh, like how many times?
Oh, I don't have a count, Diane.
Okay, because it's hard to keep track of that and not let it go.
It was about
in the
overdrawn, what
Yeah.
she's getting at.
So I'm
What's a
trying-
better way to let her know what that account
Just
is?
shoot me an email
Okay.
when you know it's getting low
Let's-
and say, hey, we're sending out several brochures and we may need to put some money.
Postage, you mean?
Mhm.
Okay.
For the postage meter.
Gotcha.
Do we need to increase that number? So that
We
won't
usually
happen?
do 300 a pop when we do increase the postage on the meter.
200
So
or 300, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Alrighty.
Shoot Diane an email.
Yeah, that'd be great.
No problem.
I had suggested that next year we increase it to 7,000 because we've used $7,000 in
Great.
postage this year because they've been more.
Yeah, and there's no reason to me for us to live on the edge. We know what we're gonna spend,
Yeah,
so you might as well
yeah.
put it in there and have it covered then, so.
Right,
yeah.
and I'm thankful that they need more.
Yep.
Okay, and then the Fountain Trust account balance, this is where the deposits for the innkeeper's tax receipts are deposited. $227,469.73. If you'll look at your innkeeper's tax spreadsheet, I've got that down to
You do.
just a small sheet of paper. If you'll look at that, you can see that they've deposited 2 months of
Again.
receipts in October, and that was $89,488.27. But I did include in your packet exactly the breakdown of that, what each month was, so you would know what the amounts that
Okay.
came in. And then we, up here in September, 33,167.13 has not been yet deposited.
How much was that?
33,000, it's in the,
Oh, right here.
yeah,
167?
uh-huh.
Okay.
That's not been deposited, at
Down
least
here.
I haven't.
So that'll be
Receipt.
here in November.
That'll be in November.
And then we use that final number then to determine 25% to send to the county.
And we have to go back and pick up December from last year.
December from
Correct.
last year, yes.
That's right. So,
No,
will the auditor report, will she get a hold of me and say, hey, it's,
I would ask her, unless you just had this record, if you had this from last year, that'd tell you what the
Okay.
deposit in December was.
Okay.
As long as it's just 1 month deposit.
right, that would be right there.
Mhm.
Okay, 35,000.
Yep.
Okay, I'll get in touch with her again. Okay, your spreadsheets and all that are in there for the ledger. And if you look at this graph, you can see
Yeah, always interesting.
how we have spent the money this year and where, and I put it in order, largest to smallest, so you can see where the largest amount of expense was. Midwest Printing, $43,970. I won't read all those to you, but you can see where all the money has gone to good use.
Yep, it's been quite a year.
It has been, it's been a great year.
Yes, it has.
phenomenal.
Yeah, and then I did, as I mentioned earlier, I did send take the check to
Very cool.
Mary Nicola at G&N Variety for $1,500 for our part of the sign. And then I included a copy of the contract in, I know some of you had asked about that, so I gave you a copy. I need to make sure that Celia has a copy for her books as well.
Anybody have any questions for the treasurer? Or you have anything else?
That's it, I think.
Is there a motion to accept as presented?
Motion to approve as presented.
John second. Move the second to approve the treasury report. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay, marketing.
Thank you.
Courtney, you want,
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm gonna let her go. She has to leave. She
Yeah.
only has an hour.
I know that, but I would like to do the brochure first.
Okay.
So if you got it all
Yep.
updated. While she's getting it ready, I want to give you an update. It was reported to me after the Bridge Festival that Pal's was not open in Bloomingdale 2 days due to a family illness. There were some more statements made at a PCI meeting here, their last meeting as well. I talked to Paul and Abigail again today. They've assured me that they will be open barring some kind of health illness, so accordingly.
Okay. Well, we'll just
So
see.
I'm disclosing that also.
Yeah, that's
For the folks at Mecca, they will tell me more or tell us more. They anticipate having a food booth at the schoolhouse for the first time in 35 years.
Great.
So they're working on that, and I do apologize that the Mecca Tavern said they were going to have the gizzards and livers, and they didn't, and I will be more suspect as your marketing chief when people say they're going to do something and then they decide to back out the Monday before the Bridge Festival.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I sent to Courtney all the updates from the 4 communities, and you lost that, or
I was having trouble finding it, and I was just trying
Okay.
to get the Rosedale one done
okay,
quickly.
yeah, because the Rosedale for the brochure, they're no longer doing the quilt show and sell at all, and so they wanted this update. I got updates from
Bloomingdale.
all 4 of the western and smaller places. So
Great.
Tangier, Bloomingdale, Mecca, Rosedale, and Montezuma. I had 5 of them. All 5 of those I got updated.
Good.
Okay, so here let's look at the map. She's updated.
Before she gets going, how are you?
I'm good.
Are you?
Yeah, congratulations.
Thank
Are
you.
ya? Oh, no, okay?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
I have not emailed her as much or requested things. Is that fair?
I thought you'd been doing amazing.
So let me show the things that we talked about, the marketing that we or have actually
You wanna
updated.
move back
If we
further?
look,
Because
the
I
first
can't.
big major radical change here is if you look at the Turkey Run Inn and Cabins, we've added 1 and 2 to be the same, and then we've highlighted a picture of the cabins, the pool, and the restaurant. I talked to Tim a little bit about this, again representing that they're collecting more than a third of our money. If we're going to see any real increases for next year with what we're going to do in social media, we've got to make sure that the Turkey Run Inn grows in January, February, March, and April. Is that fair, Tim?
That would be very fair to say.
And so
yes.
this is part of that thinking. Also, I had sent out an email. You'll see that we have 2 that have been removed. The first one removed was the Dragonfly, which is closing, being sold, and will not be lodging. And the other one that closed was the Mansfield Guest Inn. They last year only leased out to longer term stays, and they're not. You can't make a reservation there at all if you're not a vendor in Mansfield. So we removed in the Mansfield section.
I have a newer version with your requests for
Okay.
Raccoon.
Okay.
1 second.
So within the marketing committee, also, she's going to update one of the pictures.
Yep, here, 1 second. Yep, because you brought up a good point about Raccoon Lake,
Right.
about it
So,
being more even.
So what the good, the bad, the ugly is that at Raccoon Lake we have 3 locations, and we're changing.
Bear with me 1 second. These design programs take a second.
So what we did was all the Rockville places and all the non-Raccoon Lake places all got a little bit larger place because we dropped one from Mansfield and we dropped one from Rockville. So when you look at the columns, we have all the photos are to the left are there, and we've updated the photos, and you'll see we have new photos of the Park Bridge and the Cover Bridge Motel. And then up there is Raccoon Lakeside Lodge. You can see how we did that, and we made the 3 more equal there, recognizing that Raccoon Lakeside Lodge does have 15 rooms. They're adding another room. They have 16 room numbers, but they don't have a room number 13. So they actually have 15. They're adding a whole facility, and we've updated some of the photos with some of the new folks. So that's a major change that we had there, correct?
Yep.
Now go to the cover panel. Oh, and we have the new section with the Airbnb and the VRBO. Okay, on this section here specifically, if you look at what we're doing now, especially if you look at the cover, all right, we have taken the cover which we have had the last, correct me, 5 or 6 issues. We've had the Bridgeton Cover Bridge and Mill at the top. We now moved them to the bottom, and we've made that the Parke County Cover Bridge Festival. If you look at the current brochure that we've been using with the courthouse, you can't really see, unless you know what it is, you don't know that. That's pretty clear what that is for the Parke County Cover Bridge Festival. The same at the top, again, it shows that we got 31 cover bridges, and we got a picture of Turkey Run. Again, it doesn't say Turkey Run. We also now have the Amish tourism and shopping. We put a cover there by taking and just changing some of the other things that we've done on our cover. Okay, when you look on the back side of the Turkey Run and Raccoon Lake section, we specifically have called out the Turkey Run Ladder Trail by name. The Shade State Park is now on the back, but it's in the what I call the canyon one with the red, the iconic picture there. And then on the Raccoon Lake, we've got a more active, we did have used for the last 6 or 7 editions, a fisherman off of a boat, and we've gone to something that is more pontoon, a little bit more active. We still talk about fishing there, but it's great fishing, and added the word boating to that. We think that's more representative for what we're trying to do in our things. Okay? As we go, if you want to scroll over the cover bridge panel, please. Okay, on those, we put all the food photos to the right. What we're going to generally say that has been their official food. I got a text earlier today, so remember, I just got this today. The number one food on the square this year was not the baked potato. As we go forward, they would like for us to use the ice cream now as the number one, as far as the number one food sales. Again, we can do that and maybe then change the Mansfield photo to another food photo that we could get created at Mansfield. Okay? Because obviously we wouldn't want to do 2 ice cream photos if we choose to change this for the Sentinel ad. All the other photos have all been submitted. We have new photos from Bloomingdale specifically. They provided us with a high quality resolution, correct? It took me 5 emails and 2 phone calls, but we've got better pictures for Bloomingdale. Again, they are not serving meals there in 2025. They'll be serving desserts accordingly. Okay.
I probably have a couple of food pictures from Mansfield that you could change.
Okay.
To get the ice cream out of there. I was just telling her I'm so sick of seeing that ice cream picture.
Well, remember, it's in the ice. The committee is representative of all of that we have that's countywide. Though some of those folks are very congruent there. Mansfield has never told us who their iconic food is. Where everybody has pretty much agreed at Bridgeton, it is the pecan rolls because they've been there almost 50 years.
Right.
Do you think it's Saudi Bobby?
The Saudi Bobby man has been in Mansfield for 52 years. So,
That
but
might be it.
Yeah, we have a lot of food vendors that have been there for years, and one of the biggest things that sells there is the rib tips. I mean, the beef tips with the mashed potatoes
Yeah.
and the mushrooms and onions. That's one of
if
our
we have a
favorites.
high quality resolution
I do,
that we can
yeah.
get to Courtney,
I have a.
if that's something that
tips.
the commission here wants to change in future, remember, we're going to print with this. We'll order whatever we decide to do, but remember, we ordered brochures 3 times last year. This is just, I'd like to get this ordered here in the next 10 days so we can get these out by the first of the year. And the 90 cases that we have on inventory, we can get rid of those quickly through Tourist Information Services. They're still valid.
Yes, sir.
So we can get the new ones in here, and that's what we did. We sent all the old ones quickly out. So Tim, when I go out and deliver the next time, once the new ones come in, I'll pick up the old ones and then we'll send those to the state, basically.
Okay.
Just, that's what we've been doing. So the other thing that we changed on the Rockville Cover Bridge Festival section is that Vicki Newland will not be on the square next year, so we replaced that with a chainsaw carver, which is again one of their big demonstrations. So those are major changes. And we finally got most all the dates,
Yeah.
correct?
I
And then
think
we
so.
elected to do pictures for the 4th of July, Christmas, Cover Bridge Festival, and Maple Syrup Festival.
That's awesome.
And we've made more of the Christmas. Again, Bridgeton had a record year last year for their Christmas event.
Yep. Yep.
All right.
That's it.
Looks
We
great.
changed a couple of the photos that we did, but nothing noticeable, just updated in the quality. Correct?
Yep.
And then we
Yep, I think
updated
that's it.
all of the new shopping and things that closed
Yep.
and opened. All those are done as well.
Yep.
Correct?
And Jen had mentioned that Ruby's is
yes.
no longer seasonal, so we updated that, and yep,
Yeah.
they should all be correct.
Okay.
Yep.
I move that we send this to the printer and we order 70,000 maps looking at the money that we got.
Second.
After I implement the changes.
Yes, after we get, and if
Yep.
there's any other changes from anybody here at the table.
Anybody have any questions or
I have a
additions?
question about the Whipple Bridge. Is that the one they took out to make part of the Alliance, Trail Alliance?
About what bridge?
The Whipple Iron Bridge that's on one of our driving routes.
It's at Bridgeton.
Is that the one they removed?
I don't think it's listed.
It is listed as one of
On
the
a
sites
turn
on
by
one of the
turn.
routes.
Oh,
that's on the black route, isn't it? The drive.
Yes.
I
Black
think so.
route.
The
Yeah.
Whipple Bridge.
It's still there, isn't it?
So it's not the one they took out in Bridgeton.
No, you gotta drive around it.
Okay.
You can't go over it.
I was just asking because I thought that was the one they took out in Bridgeton to make part of the
they
trail.
did, but it's not in our driving thing, is it?
I don't see it.
I don't see it either.
It was highlighted on one of the routes. Maybe it was an
What's
old
it called?
It's on-
Whipple Bridge.
How do you spell it?
It's the
Oh,
Iron
yeah,
Trust
H.
one, right? The Iron Trust
Yes,
Bridge.
the Iron Trust Bridge.
That's on the block route.
Yeah.
I I think
don't
it's on
think so.
PCI stuff, it's not on ours, and it might
Okay.
be on the, you might wanna check with Greenhouse offset
Yeah, I
printing.
don't think so. Nope.
Okay.
Okay.
But I
Okay.
do think it's still there.
I thought it was, okay.
No, it's been removed.
It has been removed?
Yeah. When I was there this fall, it was sitting to the side, so.
Yeah, it was sitting off the side of the road,
Okay, any-
that's why I was wondering.
Was there a second to that motion?
Yes, there was.
Diane
Diane,
seconded.
ready to call for a vote for, if no more additions. No more questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay.
Okay, the next ad is for travel in, correct? Mm-hmm. And so this is the winter thing.
January through March. Yep.
January through March.
That looks really nice.
Motion
Yes, it
approved
does.
as presented.
Motion.
Is there a second?
Sure, I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Okay.
The next is the Indiana Foodways Alliance, which needs some work. You brought that one?
I
For the
don't.
screen?
I don't have that. I might have it in email.
Is
Let me
this
see.
it?
No,
Yeah,
I-
it's this.
Yeah, I printed it
I
out
have
for
it.
everybody.
Okay.
Okay, I got the changes here. This is the one that I sent out to the marketing committee. And what I'm not seeing is, and I was emailing Stephanie at 10:30 last night. Okay, here's what they did. We paid for 2 pages. We're getting 3 pages. All right, in the Indiana Foodways Alliance piece. All right, again, they didn't do this exactly what we wanted because we
Yeah.
asked for 2 pages, of which 25% was supposed to be the iconic foods of the Parke County Covered Festival. They've made this the feature.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to propose is that we take, except for the headline up here, because this is the way they want to lay it out. I'm going to, and I had changes from Celia, which I'm going to strike that whole thing. Require them to spell out Parke County Covered Bridge Festival every time. Have them put the dates in the headline at the top. And Dottie's has only been there for 45 years, more than 45, not 60. Okay? And it's also on the west side of Montezuma on US 36, not the east. And then on the second column at the top, it's all of the restaurants are members of Indiana Foodways Alliance, not some. Okay, the pictures are somewhat out of order along with the story.
Yeah.
And it was my understanding, if you look on the back page of the story, in the lower left-hand corner of each of those fixtures, I'm going to request that they insert a food photo into that. So it's the food that they're talking about in the story, that's what we gave you the
Yeah.
photos to.
Yes. I
Because the
agree.
Foodways told me we had to have food pictures.
Yeah.
So this is not what Travel In is doing for Foodways.
Yeah.
I don't know that it matters, but on the first page at the bottom, it talks about George's cider. It says it's made delivered from boxes of fresh apples delivered to him on this Rockville Courthouse Square. They're not delivered to him. He gets those every day.
So are they?
I often help him unload his truck.
So they're not delivered to him.
They're not delivered
So
to
basically,
him.
just from boxes of fresh
Yes.
apples on
Yes.
the Rockville
Okay.
Courthouse, and just
Right.
remove the delivered
Yep.
part.
Just take out for boxes of fresh apples.
On the Rockville Courthouse Square.
Okay, take out delivered to him.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay, I just took it out.
He wishes they would deliver to him.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, I think that I was disappointed that they chose a lot of interior and exterior photos instead of, and no.
But they're not
food
supposed to
photos.
do that.
Yeah, no.
But I'm going to suggest that they, on the back side, that they insert a photo in the lower left-hand corner, which will fit for all of them.
Yeah,
I didn't have any changes on the back at all.
because they didn't use a single tenderloin photo
Well,
or, yeah.
Yes, and then I'm also going to request that every of the iconic foods, all of those will have a caption like Rockville's baked potato, Tangier berry beef, Mansfield pumpkin ice cream, Montezuma cruller, Rockville apple cider, and Bridgeton's pecan roll. That's a pecan roll, correct? Okay. Any other questions on that?
I thought it was written well.
This is the second draft.
I thought it
You
was.
saw the first draft, and all my
Okay.
chicken scratches on it. Motion to approve is presented with the changes from Celia and Tammy and others at the table.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to approve as presented with the changes. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Do you want to do this first, or do you want me to?
Oh, the other thing I sent out is a proposal for us to consider doing all of the brochure routes that Tourist Information Services does that we're not doing now. That would be the rest of I-69 that goes to southwestern Indiana. We're not doing that, and we're not doing I-64 basically from Evansville to Louisville. So we don't need to vote on that today, but I'd like to start that ideally in January or February of next year.
Is there a reason not to vote on it today? What's the cost to us?
I forgot, it was what I emailed out, but I forgot to bring that with me
But it's
today.
just delivery, right?
It's just distribution, yes.
Yeah. So I think, why not take care of that and have it done, so you don't have to worry about taking care of it later? Is there a reason not to?
How do we feel like we're sitting financially?
Well,
I feel
I
like
think-
it'll be okay.
I'm feeling right now, if we don't do anything major outside of another, what we had talked about potentially, the marketing committee is authorizing later on in social media this, another $15,000 in social media. I feel very comfortable with what she's given us today. We'll have the 100 and we'll still have 60, and we'll still have about 25 more for Covered Bridge Repair Fund, and we'll still end the year
So ballpark, what kind of number we're looking at for delivery for those two areas?
for the year,
Yeah.
a few thousand. So we're not doing anything that's
Okay.
$4,000 or $5,000.
So why don't you go ahead and state your motion so Tim can get down whatever.
Okay,
you're
I
talking
move that
about.
we do all the Tourist Information Services routes in Indiana.
Okay,
I will second that.
okay. Moving second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Now,
Okay?
good job.
Great job to the committee, and I sent an email, and I meant it to the commission members, is that we are doing very well, and I mean this, is that we haven't had any drama within the commission, and everything we're doing, we've resolved through the marketing committee. Respectfully, Jim told me he wanted 4 of the 5 of us to agree, and when the 4 of the 5 of us agree, and Jen sent me an email respectfully, and she reminded me when Courtney's on that side of the table and Doug's on this side, when we're 100% together, we need to be more game in than we have been. So when Courtney and Doug within the marketing committee of the 5 of us is fair, Jen says she'll not vote against us. If we're both voting yes, we can count on Jen for the 3rd vote, right? And then also that's the 5 of us, and Tammy is asked to be considered to be appointed for next year in 2025. Correct, Tammy?
I did.
You asked that you wanted more input on marketing?
Oh, okay.
You did do that, did you?
I don't remember.
Yeah, you did. So that's Jim's, that's not, remember, Jim makes the appointments to the committee, the president does
Well,
not.
anytime, I think on any committee, if you've got only half the people agreeing, you need to find a better way to do it. You should have more than half agreeing.
We have 4 of the 5.
And you have 80% all the time, and that's standing. That's good.
We can agree to have our disagreements, but remember that
We've
that
got to
the
find
end
a way to work them
result
out.
is,
Yeah.
yes.
All right.
All right.
Anything else? So here you go.
Yep. Okay. So last month's social media report, our normal 4 to 5 times a week on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, sharing events, Facebook ads, our emails, everything that we do month to month. On Instagram, we're getting close to 19,000 followers, so we're getting right up there. You'll see that we have a lot of promotions for winter things kind of in the mix here. Bridgeton Country Christmas, we've been pushing that very hard. Winter activities in Parke County, Turkey Run Shade State Park winter. So you can see the amount of people we've reached in the last 30 days here. A lot of non-followers, which is very good. We did have a really high performing reel just recently with over 30,000 views, which was a feature on Turkey Run State Park during winter. So hopefully we start seeing some feedback or results from that. We've also been pushing like the 2-for-1 deal that's coming up at Turkey Run a lot, and just actually using real deals that or offers that people might incentivize people booking their stay. So we've been doing that. And then our top posts on Instagram, aside from that reel with over 30,000 views, number 1 is Bridgeton Country Christmas. Too bad Celia's not here, but those posts have been doing really well. I'm excited to see how their turnout is.
I was in Bridgeton today for about an hour and a half meeting with Mike Rowe and his wife, and there were over 50 people in the mill today while I was there an hour and a half.
Wow.
It was unbelievable, guys. I pulled
On
in
a
and I thought they were
Monday?
having a meeting. Then the craft building was open today.
Wow.
They had 3 crafters in the long building today. They've been there often because, as he said, it's like it used to be for like Civil War days.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought something was going on because there were like 12, 15 cars there. And as I parked there, like they let me park right up to the ramp. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Cool.
That's awesome. Yeah, so I'm excited.
Mike and his wife said thank you for all we've done for Bridgeton recently. It's been unbelievable.
Awesome. Well, yeah, so I'm excited to see. Hopefully, we'll hear from Celia next month on how Bridgeton Country Christmas goes. The second one was just recent photos from Turkey Run State Park. So these were, they were taken a day before they were posted, and people were. I think something that people always struggle with is they really want to visit when it's like peak colors, and they have a hard time pinpointing exactly when that's going to be because it comes and goes so quickly. So we always try to share, hey, it's peak color right now if you want to come.
Guests call all the time and ask,
Yep.
when are the leaves going to be the best?
Exactly.
Like, well,
Yep. And then number 3 was, I'm actually so glad we talked about this. I think it was the day
Yeah.
before Halloween. And you gave the idea of sharing some of the
Well, and it's
the
been,
ghost stories of
it's
Parke
been
County.
on WTHI too.
Yeah.
They've
Yeah.
done a feature story about it.
Yeah, so number 3 was this Happy Halloween from Parke County, get into the Halloween spirit by exploring some of our spookiest sites. And then so you swipe through it and it kind of told stories of, we had a sanatorium, Billy Creek Village, the bridge, I can't remember what.
Yeah.
Sim Smith.
Yeah,
Sim
Sim
Smith.
Smith Bridge. So it was just stories about all of the haunted places in Parke County. So that was a
And
very
IDC
high performer.
And with that, IDDC had a story that said Parke County was the #1 paranormal sighting in Indiana with the Lee Allen Bryant
Yeah.
facility, guys.
Yeah.
Hey, we need to play up.
Well, we do.
Yeah, we do.
Play that
They
up.
love it.
I'm just-
Yeah.
Absolutely.
They do.
Yeah.
I had some calls on that one. What the hell are you doing now, Weiss? I said, I have nothing to do with this.
Yeah, so that being said, we'll definitely continue to share that as long as they're still doing tours and things. I'm not sure how, as it gets colder, I'll keep an eye out because we obviously don't want to promote it heavily if they're not open, but we will continue to promote it as long as they're doing tours and everything. Facebook analytics, we're still moving up over 100,000, so still good. We always see it slow down a little bit after Bridge Festival. I think people are kind of a little tired of seeing our content after us bombarding them the entire month of September and October, so it's not anything to be worried about that it's like slowed down a little bit this month. But and then our top posts, happy Friday from Turkey Run State Park Suspension Bridge, book your stay at Turkey Run Inn. So something this year that we've done very differently than I'd say previous years is we're like directly sending people, book your stay at Turkey Run Inn or book your stay at, wherever we're talking about, just to try and get people directly to the link to be more likely to go ahead and book it.
Those are just amazing numbers. 329,000 views. Just amazing.
And then number 2 is start planning your winter trip to Parke County, Indiana. It's a lot of really awesome winter photos that we have. And number 3 was actually this Discover Walker Getaway. A lot of really, really good feedback from this post. People very excited to see such a nice, high quality Airbnb in Parke County. So
We got a really big one also, though, at the Eagles Nest at High Bridge. Again, they're $175 to $300 a night.
That's
And we got a
beautiful,
really
yeah.
big push from them. Social media did.
yeah.
So they've turned the Kemper house in Mansfield into an Airbnb. It actually, the house will sleep 8 people, and then he's built a cabin in the back that sleeps 4 people
Now, where's that at?
in Mansfield at the Kemper house.
Where's the Kemper
It's on
House?
the top of the hill, like directly across from where the big blue barn is.
Oh,
on
okay.
the road that goes down the hill by the jail.
Okay.
Yep, so that was number 3. So, I think overall we're moving in really good directions, especially like lodging posts are doing so well. So that's a great thing that obviously that's our main goal is to continue to get more lodging.
And we have
bookings.
two, the old jail inn is being sold. The Dragonfly has sold, and then Park Bridge is supposedly was sold as well. And the people that bought Park Bridge also bought the old jail inn, and they're from Whitestown. Oh, by the way.
TikTok, we're almost up to 13,000 followers. And you can see some of the kind of top posts we've been doing. So like walking in a winter wonderland, featuring Turkey Run State Park, winter things. the 2-for-1 winter special, and the Walker getaway again. So you'll see some crossover on things that were posted and things that have done well.
On that, with us saying we're #1 state park, as Tim knows, if we were to go back a decade ago, the #1 fall destination in Indiana was not the Turkey Run State Park, it was Brown County. And they are without a CVB director again, so that means the last 3 years they're on their third director. So in this void, at least in Brown County, this is a great time for us to market Turkey Run, Turkey Run, Turkey Run.
Yeah. Something I
Brown
wanted,
County will eventually come back, folks. I'm just, they got a lot more acres than we do.
yeah. Something I wanted to bring up to our group to hopefully get approved. I'm not sure if you all have seen on social media accounts some that are verified, meaning they have like a blue check mark next to them. It just showcases that like this is the official account, they're trustworthy, this is who you actually contact, which I've shared this with you and Nisa that we had problems with fake or other groups or things emulating us. So I think it's just something that showcases that again that we are the official CVC account, not just a fan organization or group of people that are posting things. So this is how much it costs. This just goes directly to Meta, which is Instagram and Facebook. I do think it's worth us
I move
paying
that we
for
do
it.
this.
Yeah.
Is that paid up with the Visa?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, move second to approve this,
Verified.
verification.
Yep.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Fantastic. And I'll update it you all next month. Sometimes you kind of have to apply and get approved, so it could take a couple of weeks, but I'll update next month
Thank you.
on that.
Good
And that's
job.
it.
Good job.
You do okay.
Questions?
Okay, give you some more updates. The Festivals Association last week bought a new vehicle that's 4 feet longer. It's powered by gas and is really, 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 really nice to drive. You'll be seeing it in a month. We will be going to the Rosedale Christmas Parade. We'll be going to Bridgeton, and I've got to find someone, John, hopefully that can drive it in the Christmas parade here at Rockville too. Okay, but next year's version is 4 feet longer, and it's gas powered, and it has an air conditioner.
Yeah.
All right.
Anybody else have anything else? No questions. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Oh,
make
you
that one.
think we should?
Is there a second? Oh, hang on a minute.
I
Okay,
guess.
we got an invoice from the state for $34,000 for IDBC, but the dates are on it wrong, and I didn't catch it when it came to me, and I forwarded it to Diane.
So
Okay.
do I
It's just got the
ask
year wrong, right?
Huh?
It's for 2024.
It's got the years wrong, and
It's
we
supposed to
should.
be 2025.
It's supposed to be 2025, not 2024.
I wouldn't pay till they get it correct.
Okay.
So
So
do you
we'll-
want to contact them?
Do we want to wait to pay them till next month then?
My preference would be to approve to pay it once we get a corrected invoice.
Absolutely.
Okay, so that's another $34,010.
I'd make the motion that we wait that Diane pay that invoice once we get the corrected version. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Aye.
That way, you're not on the hook for anything
I got
coming
it.
up. You gotta just wait
And
and get the
this-
invoice.
I got it. I
Okay.
can do that.
Okay.
So can you contact them
Yes,
to ask if
I'll
they-
take this with me.
That's fine.
and then you have to sign it, Jones.
Okay, let me know.
Okay.
All right, we have a motion. Oh, go ahead.
We did have a change in the governor's office, as we all know. I've been assured that Nancy, our salesperson, left, so they're in the process of trying to hire, but the state's in a hiring freeze now with governor-elect and their hiring freeze. We should be getting a new one accordingly, and that's why things like this are happening, FYI. The programs that they've announced that we've committed to are committed, but they're not making any promises of anyone that hadn't made a commitment prior to election day.
Yep.
FYI. Is that kind of what you're hearing, Tim, on your end? Right?
Yes.
There'll be a lot of things.
The other thing I think we should be very well aware is Tim was recently, as you know, that they had the grand opening of the $30 million renovation,
At
correct?
Spring Mill?
At Spring Mill, and I think that it is more imperative that, remember, we're not the only state park in Indiana, that we've got, right now, we're not the bottom four like respectfully we were in previous years, fair?
Yes.
I mean, we don't own the winter because Pokagon owns the winter destination with the state park.
They
Inn.
do.
We're not in Indianapolis, so we're not at Fort Bend either, right?
Right.
But we share a lot with both the state park at Brown County and Spring Mill are kind of like us, except if you look at the pictures, and Tim was there, and I commented to Tim, it looks like you're at a new Hilton Garden Inn and not a
does.
lodge, country cabin, hiking lodge.
And that's
It's-
probably the biggest, not complaint that I heard from guests that came for the open house was everybody, you're shocked that it didn't maintain that lodge look.
Yeah.
It's very modern looking.
It looks like a Marriott property, a white Marriott property, a
Right.
high-end one.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm used to, the really high-end stuff.
You're a county commissioner, we're
Oh,
not.
it's your money I'm spending, so it's okay.
But I think that that's part of our positioning when we're using our photos to show the rural, the hiking, the trails along that.
Yeah.
Okay, and at least I'm out more now because I'm retiring from the bank here next
Yeah,
month.
we've been hearing that for how many
No, I
years?
really am. No, I am
I
retired.
really am.
I am fully
I really
retired.
am.
But when I'm out, I remember the things that we take for granted here, others don't have. All right, and that's more important in our images that we've been buying and the things that we're doing in our social media stuff. Really reinforces we are a rural destination. We truly, and the pictures are that. And I reminded folks, I've been out a lot the last 3 months with the Festivals Association and with bureaus, and I remind them there's things that we don't do, we're not going to do, we haven't even requested do. They laughed when we're not in the group business. Like Tim knows, we don't have anybody that does luggage. We only have 2 motels that could even take 30 rooms, as you know.
And really, if you haven't been doing this for a couple of decades, you really don't know that we weren't a destination. We were a pass-through on the way to someplace else, always. And one of the biggest things that made us a destination was the 36. The 36 is really the monster that brought all this focus. Still have all the things we have, but now people come for that. Then they see the other things that we have on top of that. So it was a game changer. It really was. Yep.
And people laugh, but our tenderloins is becoming the Parke County official food in the sense that it's just no longer, respectfully, the Mecca Tavern that gets the things. The Turkey Run Gas and Grill got a nice write-up.
Yeah.
The Narrows has gotten that. You know, the Tasty Freeze got a write-up where it mentioned the travel writer said I had a great tenderloin at the Tasty Freeze.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So we're beginning. It used to be one place, and now it's 4 or 5. Regularly, do we read about this or see photo images that we're providing, and somebody else picks them up?
And you attract those other businesses to come do those things because it's been a success where it is, and that's just part of life. Okay, we have a motion on the floor to adjourn, and a second is, any questions? Anybody will have anything else to add? Let's pick a date for next, so are we back to our fourth?
I think
we set a December
we have
meeting.
one already. Oh, it's the 17th.
Okay, all right.
As long as that's still all right.
Yeah.
December 17th, that's what I have. Okay, so
Okay.
we're set for the 17th.
I will not be here for my vacation.
All right, all in favor say aye. We're